If elfi's aggressive enough, he could shut that down and set himself up comfortably. In the top left corner, currently up 2-0, looking to be on an absolute tear on his way to the quarterfinals. Can he do it? It's Azubu's viOLet.
And spawning down in the bottom right-hand corner as our red Protoss. Currently 2 games down, guys. He needs your support. Give it up for Rog Elfi.
Elfi going to go for that standard early expand. Don't mind that. I actually would like to see an air play out of Elfi on this map.
Yeah.
It's both thin and long. So...
Please,
please,
no,
allow me to go on. Allow me to go on.
No.
No, it's.
Oh my God.
No, you can cover the left and right attack paths very easily with Phoenixes, and also because of the long distances, if you spot something going wrong, you can fly back very quickly. Air does a great job shutting down. It's one of the reasons why Mutalisks are popular in Zerg vs. Zerg in this matchup. So I would really like to see him do that play again.
And I like this little threaten by viOLet here. Just going for that slightly earlier pull here. It was like a 12 or 13 pull. Normally you would see that 14 or 15. So Elfi here being told, hey, don't go Nexus first. But actually, I mean, he's saving up quite a bit. He could potentially just go an economical Forge here. Yeah. We'll see what he wants to go for.
This is kind of a cute play, honestly. A 12 pool's really not... It's not some big economic sacrifice or anything.
Wait a minute.
You can actually generally make up for it by the fact that you get your queen just a smidge earlier, but it can mess with a lot of Protosses because we have these Lings coming out right now. viOLet is essentially doing a standard play, but hinting that he has that run-by threat at any point. There's going to have to be a wall-off from Elfi.
Yeah, and I mean, considering that wall-off threat, I'm really quite surprised he just said, well, you know, I'm going Nexus first anyway, as some Protoss feel very, very uncomfortable about doing so. The Zerglings are on the way here, and that hatchery is going down for viOLet. But
wow,
I guess
6 Lings.
Oh, yeah. I guess Ohana, more than anything, though, I mean, you can get this wall-up off, but he's not going to have a cannon done just in time for this.
He's going to have a cannon started by about the time the Lings get there. Ooh, very sick little play here by Elfi. And see that movement forward by viOLet. Elfi's getting a nice setup. Barely gets the wall off up in time.
That pylon's going to take quite a bit of damage here, though. Actually, I think that could actually fall. This is going to be so close. He's going to be able to throw down another gateway, though, if he wants to. But there's still a little... Is there a hole? I can't... There is a little hole.
Very small one. He needs to build that extra backup pylon, and he lets... Oh, my God! Elfi, the clutch Finn. That is the clutchest Finn I have yet seen.
Oh, and that is exactly what we were talking... Like, as soon as you go Nexus first, there's always that very, very small moment where there's the potential of that run-by coming along. Elfi, though, so close there with that block. Very, very well done by him. And that Cybernetic score going down for now. Elfi going to stabilize from here.
I like to think of myself as somewhat of a manly player, Kalaris.
Yeah?
I'm real tough. I'm clutch under pressure.
Okay.
But if that moment happened to me as Elfi, I would actually want to take my 10-minute break right there. I like the surge of adrenaline I felt.
Pause,
just
please.
Like when the pylon goes down, just that, got him.
I'll be honest.
Man mode.
I had heart palpitations in that myself. I literally feel so much anxiety right now. I am on the edge of my seat. I'm disintegrating. I feel as...
That
was so close.
Neither of us need another Red Bull to stay awake for these casts today. There was plenty of adrenaline provided by Elfi's insanely clutch pylon down. And now, viOLet, with all that craziness that's gone on, this is still a typical game. The one thing that is a little bit adjusted is that Elfi would have done his tech. He would have planted it down before the 6-minute mark. It's going to be planted down a little bit after the 6-minute mark.
Yeah.
Elfi charging with that initial Stalker, an excellent way to exploit a Zerg that built too many slow Lings at the outset.
I think it's important to note, though, that despite it, having going down a little bit after the 6-minute mark, it's far more worth shutting those Zerglings out. If those get in, that tech is delayed by so much more, and there's the potential of losing tons of probes in that.
You just lose the game if 6 of viOLet's Zerglings get in there. There were 6 of my Zerglings, I might kill off a couple probes and feel cool, but viOLet actually just wins with a small number of probes. The 7-minute layer, again, the sort of classic early, I should actually say the more modern early layer. Now the Roach Warren goes down, but interestingly, we're seeing yet another Stargate play from our good friend Elfi.
Ooh, and the Robo goes down right after it as well. So this is looking very, very similar to game number 1 from Elfi. Probably going to end up going to this Phoenix, transitioning into that 2-base Immortal play if he wants to. But I think what we're seeing is the Overlords are actually going to be able to scout out that Robo, and he doesn't know about the Stargate just yet.
Yeah.
But Elfi might play a bit of a mind game here. He might make this look exactly like game number 1, but then just going to some kind of 3-base expansion play.
It's certainly a tough build to read, because you think about what did Protoss ordinarily do when they went for Fast Stargate? They went Void Ray, Phoenix, Phoenix. Or most significantly, they just built a Void Ray first.
Yeah.
But by not building that initial Void Ray, by building Phoenixes instead, this frees up enough gas to build a Robo facility, and more importantly, frees up enough minerals to get both these geysers down. So if you're from Violet's point of view, you're seeing all the geysers, the usual Robo timing, you're preparing for an Immortal push, and there we see the Roach speed, the missile attack. You would want melee attack if you'd identified that there was no attack coming.
Yep, and there we go. Violet adding on those gases. Will probably going to be able to go up to Infestation Pit Tech in just a bit here, as you know, with that very, very quick layer, it just allows him to be able to tech up that little bit quicker. Immortals, he is slightly supply blocked here though, so he's not actually able to get those Immortals out just yet, and that is a pretty big burden going up against someone like Violet, who is not
roaching it up.
Yep.
He's roaching it up. And there the Phoenix is now advancing forward, the 4th one hot on its tails, and all of a sudden Violet's going, wait a minute. Phoenix play instantly lifts up a queen. There's actually only 3 queens on the map, so this is going to absolutely hinder Violet's setup. And now a bunch of drones are instantly going to fall if Elfi so chooses. No, it looks like Elfi's going to be going for more Overlords. Oh my god, he found the Overlord vein. Oh my gosh, Violet in a lot of trouble.
Minecrafting away at that Violet vein there, as for now he will be able to kill off plenty of those. He has 5 Spore Crawlers on the way, but that's so much forced minerals wasted there, and he's already done so much damage. Now picking up drones here, there, and everywhere, but look at this, Violet sending all his units over to the other side of the map, and Elfi breaking down those rocks. I think he might actually go for that 3rd base.
Oh gosh, more Overlords at the miss rally. And Violet, oh gosh, Elfi exploiting every little mistake, and there's actually a lot more damage being dealt than even shows up here on that unit's loss tab. We are seeing a ton of Spore Crawlers were built that really aren't going to play much use at all.
We have 2 more Immortals in production here. He's actually throwing down the Robo, but he needs these force shields to be very, very good. Very key, and there you go. Nicely done there by Elfi. And for now, just throwing down more pylons here, there, and everywhere, warping in more sentries to be able to make sure he can't get up that ramp.
Only 4 gateways out right now for Elfi Taya. He's been going straight for Robo play. Nothing wrong with that. But oh gosh, Violet has the most frequently misrallied Overlords I think I've ever seen. More Overlords taking some damage, but I don't think Elfi's going to be able to get quite as many still. Much higher units lost tab for the Zerg. I
think this is the most Overlords I've seen actually being killed off by Phoenix in this matchup with this kind of opening. This is pretty brutal here for Violet. He is getting Pathogen Glands out. And he's even getting a queen as well with that Spore Crawler trying to reposition itself.
A drone, maybe he'll get the drone. No, Elfi's now pulling back. And let's go ahead and come to the vision center of Violet. He actually only has a single Overlord that's poached anywhere on the middle of the map. And now it looks like Elfi actually doesn't realize that those changelings are there. Stepping down, will he manage to pick those off? That would be tremendous for Violet to have a good spotting on all these units.
And there we go. There's Elfi going for that 3rd base. So he is just, again, really putting Violet in a position where he assumes some big 2-base players going. Look at how many units he produced during all of this that have done nothing for him here.
Yeah,
so he's on that, well, actually, he's gone up to 68 drones now, but before, that lava has not been as efficient as it could have been.
Oh, 3 get nabbed, and how's Elfi going to deal with this one? It looks like he's just going to bite the bait and just take some massive damage, but even so, Elfi's done the damage he needs to with those Phoenixes, and with these Colossus being chrono boosted out suddenly, Elfi's looking very, very well positioned to deal with any army that gets thrown at him. This is the hatch that needed to go down ages ago.
Yeah, very much so. That 4th base, very, very vital here, as he does also go up to that Spire, and Infestor's also on the way here to be able to add to that rising count. And for now, I mean, there's going to actually be 3 Colossus now very, very soon here, with +2 weapons and Blink on the way. So Elfi even is going up to a very, very nice composition, trying to saturate those gases in just a little bit on that third base. And once he gets that 6 gas geyser count, he's going to be able to fuel, you know, the Templar archives and that mothership eventually, as well as those extra gateways that he's throwing down over to the south.
It might be a mistake for Elfi to try to tech a little bit too quickly.
Yeah.
Elfi should be going for the maxed army push, because right now there's really no way for viOLet to get any hive tech, to get any significant tech. I mean, look at that. 1-1 will be done at the time that Elfi's maxed. I mean, if Elfi just goes for a straight Blink Stalker, he's going to be in good shape. He's building a forge and a fleet beacon. I mean, sure, Mothership's great. Sure, upgrades are great, but winning the game is the greatest of all, Kalaris.
It is, I would agree. Winning and being able to keep yourself in this bracket play, very, very important. He is able to pick up 1 drone, but not really much is happening with that. Poor second Phoenix out of range.
I would totally just lift 2 things just to show him that I could.
Why not? I mean, he's going to die, right? So may as well expend some of that energy. Actually, technically, it would be wasting some mining time on a drone. There you go. Justified.
So good. And look at that. The money move coming up from viOLet. 21 drones. He's going for that late game tech play. This is why Elfi needs to be going mass Blink Stalker. Just churn him out of all 10 gateways that he has, and then try to just bust down the front door when he hits max. This is actually the period of vulnerability for viOLet, but what's going to happen is that with this mothership coming out, Elfi's basically locked himself out of an attack timing, and that's an incredible blunder. viOLet would have been at a Ling Roach, small Infestor, small Corruptor count versus a max perfect Protoss composition. So Elfi's going to have to try to win with a later attack, because now the big defense is going up from viOLet.
I've just had a slight epiphany, and I'm going to go on a tangent, so I do apologize infinitely. But the Oracle design in Heart of the Swarm, how cool would it be if it was like a smaller circle, but it just like lifted like a circle's worth of drones for like a period of time?
Oh, like an area effect graviton beam?
I want this to happen. I'm just, oh my god, I'm going to say this to David Kim. That'd be great. Sorry, go on. Game.
That is a far different tangent than I expected.
I'm sorry.
You know how they should have ended The Sopranos? I'm like, wow. What in-game reminded you of this? There, it looks like we see the 3-1 upgrades incoming with that Mothership coming out. Though it might look sexy, again, the attack timing from Elfi is gone. It is no longer a possibility. This is right when you would want to be attacking as Protoss, but Mothership getting finished up, not going to happen.
And for now, he's actually going to try and swing around to the 4th base. Not going to be able to do too much pressure here, I don't think, unless those Colossus get out of position. Right now, the Corrupt is actually going to engage this. He's not engaging with the Infestors. Where are they to be able to support this army? He's going to have to fall back for now. Elfi with a very, very safe defense.
That is exactly how viOLet wanted that battle to happen. Now we see viOLet has the opportunity to re-food up with Broodlords. Dum-doom. There's Broodlords going up. More Broodlords will likely be joining the party. And Elfi is kind of awkwardly on this high Zealot count. He would really like to get a Warp Prism around now. Gosh, Elfi must be feeling so much pressure. You can tell that Elfi kind of has that fear. He doesn't want to attack. He should attack, but for some reason he's just convinced that viOLet's going to swing around, kill off that expansion. It's already been a battle to get up the 4th.
And they do now spot that mothership. viOLet knows exactly what's going on for his opponent. Nice blink forward, actually, to catch a lot of these units. Really nice trade there for Elfi. But these roaches are going to be replenished pretty soon. But actually, it's going to be replenished with Corruptors here to be able to support this very, very nice Broodlord transition.
Elfi needs to be checking this left expansion. viOLet is, in honesty, doing everything right, with the exception of killing off his own spine crawler like a doofus. Elfi now stepping into action. There's going to be one less spine crawler for that defense. 4 roaches swinging to the left side again. Counter-attackful viOLet, always on the lookout.
Yeah, +2-1 going down now for Elfi. Elfi always very, very adamant about getting those shield upgrades. He's one of the Protoss that really focuses down on that kind of play. So it's really nice to see him working that into his play. Makes those Archons so much stronger, as well as the entire composition. Even if he wants to transition into air later on for some reason against Broodlord tech, it can be very, very strong there as well.
Oh, the Zerg mothership. Elfi's gotten his mothership neural parasited every single game he's gotten one.
Oh my god, wasting
Elfi.
so much energy. And there's actually still a lot of his army left in there, I think. He's abandoning.
He's going to have to blink as fast as humanly possible. And, oh, they're all zealots. Oh, God, the two immortals. The hero immortals going to get smoked.
Oh, that's a pretty big shame there for Elfi, as viOLet with just pristine control of those infestors. And, you know, infestors are deceptively difficult to control from time to time. Because some people, you know, they watch StarCraft 2 and they're just like, well, you just move forwards, you fungal, and then you move back, right?
Oh, those people, gross.
It's really, really hard to actually control them to the best of your ability whilst you're still keeping control of everything else. Spreading your creep, getting your lava injects down, controlling the rest of your army. So viOLet is one of those players that really, really maximizes his infestor play.
We do see, wow, interestingly, elfi just saying, I don't want these units. Springing right into action, actually forcing viOLet to do kind of a big cancel, and amazingly, we're going to have some big hits land on this expansion. Elfi now getting the Archon Colossus money mix. We see that there's, it looks like 20 gateways in production right now for Elfi.
Zergling's getting smoked there at the third location for Elfi, but again, we actually have pneumatized Carapace and Ventral Sax on the way here for viOLet, so chances are he might want to mix in either a little bit of aggression with one or two Overlords to be able to stretch Elfi thin, which would be a complete role reversal of what you would normally see in this matchup, or even just incorporate in the Banelings in order to be able to drop them across the entire army against those very, very vulnerable Colossus.
Oh, the Archon stuck in the back. Will he be able to get the Mothership? Will he be able to throw down the Vortex? Where's the Neural Parasite? He's stepping forward, and he gets it! Oh! Elfi catching a lucky break. Will he march in with everything? Archons. He needs to get on the other side. He needs to get those infestors in there. Archons marching right on in. Oh, Elfi has a big play coming up. Here it comes. Here it comes. Broodlords. Oh!
Disintegration as Elfi is able to rip apart the force of viOLet, taking out this fifth base as well. But meanwhile, we actually have a counterattack of Zerglings moving on into the second base here of Elfi. And actually, he's just going to separate these and go into the main as well, trying to bring down a little bit of that infrastructure as well. So viOLet not down and out just yet.
A lot of infestors, a lot of corruptors, and broodlords nowhere in sight. Another mothership being produced. It will be likely to be taken out. Zealots get morphed in. And Elfi now going again for that vulnerable fourth base. What a vortex. I mean, took a couple tries after he's getting his Neural Parasite every time, but now Elfi's sweeping right on in. Neural Parasites nowhere to be found. Fungals aplenty. Expo gonna fall down, and Elfi finds himself at a lead for the first time in this series.
For all the criticisms we had of those of Elfi having those Neural Parasites strike that mothership from time to time, that Vortex certainly made up for it here from that Finnish Phenom. As for now, we just have a few more gates here in the main. There we go, morphing those into warp gates there, as he just continues to replenish here. Plus 3 shields on the way once again for Elfi, and this is so much quicker than you see most Protoss getting this. So his force is going to be immaculate here going into the next engagement against viOLet.
3-3-3 Protoss army, so uncommon. Elfi, oh god, this is so good. He is just going to take his 4th and 5th and lock viOLet out of his 4th and 5th. viOLet might be able to retake a 4th base, but he certainly won't be able to get a whole bunch of extra bases. viOLet actually going for the Zergling drop, a cute little play.
For now, Elfi trying to establish himself a 5th base in just a second here. Plus 3 weapons going down for these Broodlords. So he will be able to have a lot of firepower here, but once again, that mothership is still on the way here, and that 5th base is no chance going to get up there for viOLet.
Well, it looks like the mass changeling attack will not be able to remove the expansion. Mothership in production at the natural expansion. Yet again, more corruptors en route. Zerglings instantly spring down into action, but only 57 probes. That's kind of a surprising move from Elfi, but it allows him to have this ridiculous army.
And interestingly enough, viOLet has been able to replenish 15 Broodlords and 8 Infestors. His army is still looking pretty good. He is down in terms of supply, yes. An army tab is actually relatively even considering the supplies.
Yeah.
But you know, viOLet still threatening with that little Zergling drop over to the east of the map. And once he knows his opponent's going to move out into the middle of the map, he's going to go for that and try and draw him back, try and buy himself some more time once again.
Elfi now up to 24 gateways. Looking at his cash, he'll be able to replenish a full maxed army. when he drops down to half. So this is going to help him a lot, being able to warp in all those Archons, Stalkers, etc. And this is looking very much so in Elfi's favor, but viOLet going in to do an attack with this drop, it's a little bit oddly timed, as Elfi will be able to just return back home immediately.
Once again, though, those Zerglings with 3-3 and Adrenal Glands, very, very scary here. Actually focusing down the Nexus. I think maybe like taking pylons and things like that would have been more applicable because the Nexus isn't really doing too much.
Cloak the Nexus! Oh, he didn't cloak the Nexus. Oh, Elfi. Elfi Taya.
That would have been a sweet little play, but I think even, you know, when you're under this kind of pressure, it's very difficult to just say, yeah, it cloaks it. It would be great. So
what a move by viOLet.
Oh, dear.
Whoa, Elfi brought everything he has back to defend the small drop in his main, and now Elfi's going to lose this base on the right essentially for free. Nice play by viOLet.
Yeah, that's for now. Elfi going to be able to take
the
down.
most dangerous probe. Whoa, he manages to get away.
A few more probes running to their death here over to that Nexus. The Nexus will end up falling here, though, but Elfi trying to establish himself a little bit of a position at this location here just to go for an engagement if he desires to. How much energy do we have on that Mothership? We have 93, 94. That Mothership needs to be so crucial here. 4 energy left.
96. It looks like he's going for it. He's going to try to target fire the Mothership. It's at 100 energy. What does he do? He blinks back. He loses the Mothership. And now viOLet is streaming forward with all these Broodlords. The Infestor count is too damn high. And look at this. Is viOLet going to pull another win out of nowhere?
Oh, he needed that Mothership. He needed that
in the
vortex.
main, the drop. He's picking off all the pylons.
Oh no, this means Elfi is not going to have much room to be able to reinforce whatsoever. Right now we have still 14 Broodlords on the map here for viOLet, as well as 8 Infestors. This army 172 to 172 supply. Oh, but blinking forwards, trying to focus down as many of those Broodlords as he possibly can do. Fungals rain down once again, but is he going to have enough to be able to bust this Broodlord line?
Elfi's trying to blink every which way to take this out. Both players getting dangerously low on supply, but Elfi has the production to be able to pull back. Elfi's second swing doesn't work, but he has to have so many gateways that he can still use in the main base, rebuilding pylons everywhere.
Oh, unless he's able to close the gap with the Archons right now, it's going to be so hard for him to bring down those Broodlords with only 13, 15 Stalkers. Right now, there's so many Infestors here, still with a little bit of energy for those fungal growths. And here we go once again, Day 9.
Attempt number 3 from Elfi to try to break this down. He has lots in the bank, but didn't want to spend it. He wanted to try to take the opportunity immediately before there was too much energy regained. Still not going to be enough. Elfi tries to use a feedback, but the Broodlords continue to trundle forward. Elfi, where are his Zealot Archon? I mean, he needs something that can just really barrel down on this force.
Yeah, he does. viOLet right now down in supply, but unit counting station shows those 24 Stalkers. If they get fungal, they're not going to have a hope in hell to be able to actually bring down these Broodlords once again. And with these bases under siege right now, we have still 40 Zerglings on the way. No doubt we're going to see viOLet just kind of go for the 4th base and hope that it's able to do some damage there as well, because he has this position so under control. Mothership is now out, but it's so far away from having that Vortex.
How is viOLet doing this? Elfi having to kill off one of his own gateways to escape his base. He's trying to swing out to get a wide angle. He needs a concave. He can't attack this in a closed position. There's really not as many Broodlords as there's been in the past in this game. Elfi still has a big chance. He's just going to need to get at the right angle, and this actually should be it. There's a Neural Parasite, a Zerg Mothership with the blink forward immediately loses 1, 2 Broodlords. Queen's there to do the transfuse, but they're not enough. They can't transfuse when they're being one-shotted, and Elfi,
my God.
Oh my gosh, pulls a nice recovery.
Elfi with a miracle defense. GG! Elfi comes back in game number 3. How on earth, after back and forth on Ohana, he manages to take the game. He is not down and out just yet. This Finnish knight on the way to bringing himself back in here.
God, I mean, Elfi clearly dismayed after that game. I think he knew he was in a good winning position, and then he suddenly lost that expansion. Suddenly his main was in shambles. He suddenly whiffed another Vortex. He got a Neural Parasite on the Mothership for a 3rd time, and everything started to fall apart.
I actually, when he Neural Parasite the Mothership at the very end there, I instantaneously checked to see if he hadn't actually an observer there, and he didn't. think that if he would have neural parasited and been more adamant about that, there wasn't any detection there to be able to actually spot any of that army. Of course, he would have had to have brought down the mothership on his own to be able to really deal with that. I mean, were there any cannons in range, like at the ramp of the natural, for example?
I mean, he would have had cloaked transfusing infestor mothership.
Yeah.
Broodlord.